Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you're here today because we need to talk about something that's going to affect millions of Americans, and that might include you.
Here's the headline that's got everyone talking. The Social Security Administration just released new numbers showing the trust fund is under more stress than ever. And here's what that means in plain English. Your monthly Social Security check could be cut by as much as 21% starting in 2034.
I know that sounds scary, but here's the thing. Knowledge is power. And today, we're going to break down exactly what's happening, what it means for you, and most importantly, what you can do about it. So grab your coffee, get comfortable, and let's dive in. So let's start with the basics. Every year, the Social Security trustees release a report. Think of it like a financial health checkup for Social Security. And this year's report? Well, it's not great news. The trustees are saying that the Social Security Trust Fund, that's the big pot of money that pays out your benefits, is going to run dry faster than they thought. We're talking about 2034 now, instead of 2035. Now, I want to be crystal clear here. This doesn't mean Social Security is going away. Let me repeat that. Social Security is not disappearing, but it does mean changes are coming. Let's break down the math in a way that makes sense. Right now, Social Security works like this. Current workers pay into the system through payroll taxes. That money goes into the trust fund. The trust fund then pays out benefits to current retirees. It's been working this way for decades. But here's the problem. We have more people retiring than we have workers paying in. It's simple demographics. The baby boomers, that huge generation born between 1946 and 1964, are all hitting retirement age. Meanwhile, birth rates have been lower, so we have fewer workers per retiree than we used to. In 1960, we had about 5 workers for every retiree. Today, we're down to about 2.8 workers per retiree. By 2034, it's expected to drop even further. Now, let's talk about that 21% cut. If you're getting $2,100 a month in Social Security today, a 21% cut would bring that down to about $1,580. If you're getting $1,500, it would drop to around $1,185. For many people, this isn't just about having less spending money. Social Security makes up a huge chunk of retirement income. According to the Social Security Administration, about 40% of elderly Americans rely on Social Security for 90% or more of their income. Think about that for a second. If your main source of income got cut by 1/5 overnight, how would that change your life? You might be wondering, how did we get here? Well, it's not like this came out of nowhere. Experts have been warning about this for years. The Social Security Trust Fund has actually been paying out more than it takes in since 2010. It's been making up the difference by dipping into its reserves, kind of like using your savings account to cover your monthly expenses. But just like your personal savings account, eventually you run out if you keep spending more than you earn. That's what's happening to Social Security. COVID-19 made things worse. More people filed for disability benefits. Some people retired earlier than planned. And with job losses, there were fewer people paying into the system for a while. Now, not everyone will feel this the same way. If you're already retired and collecting Social Security, you'll see the cut if it happens. If you're close to retirement, say within 10 years, you need to start planning for this possibility right now. But here's something interesting. If you're younger, you might actually have more options. Why? Because there's still time for Congress to make changes that could fix this problem without such dramatic cuts. Before we talk about what might happen next, I want to hear from you. How would a 21% cut in Social Security affect your retirement plans? Are you counting on Social Security as your main source of income? Or do you have other savings and investments? Drop a comment below and let me know. I read every single comment, and your stories help other viewers understand they're not alone in this. Also, if you're finding this information helpful, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel reach more people who need to know about this stuff. Okay, so we've covered the problem. Now let's talk solutions. And the first thing I want to say is this. Don't panic. We have 10 years to figure this out. But also, don't ignore it. If you're already collecting Social Security, here's what you can do. First, diversify your income if possible. Maybe that's a part-time job, rental income, or drawing from other retirement accounts. The goal is to make Social Security a smaller percentage of your total income. Second, look at your expenses. I'm not saying live like a monk, but see where you can trim without killing your quality of life. Small changes now can make a big difference if benefits do get cut. Third, stay healthy. I know that sounds simple, but healthcare costs are one of the biggest expenses in retirement. The healthier you stay, the more money you keep in your pocket. If you're in this group, you have some time, but not a lot. Here's your game plan. Consider working a few extra years if possible. Every year you delay retirement, your Social Security benefits grow by about 8%. Plus, you're earning money and not spending your savings. Max out your retirement contributions if you can. If you're 50 or older, you can make catch-up contributions to your 401k and IRA. This year, that means you can contribute up to $30,000 to your 401k and $8,000 to your IRA. Get serious about healthcare planning. Look into long-term care insurance. Understand what Medicare covers and what it doesn't. Healthcare costs can wipe out retirement savings faster than almost anything else. If you're under 50, you actually have the most power here. You have time on your side. First, don't count on Social Security being your main retirement income. Plan like it's a nice bonus, not your lifeline. Financial experts usually say Social Security should replace about 40% of your pre-retirement income. Maybe plan for it to replace 30% instead. Second, start saving more now. I know, easier said than done, but even an extra $50 a month invested over 30 years can make a huge difference thanks to compound interest. Third, consider working longer than your parents' generation did. The traditional retirement age of 65 might need to become 67 or 70 for your generation. That's not necessarily bad news. Many people live longer, healthier lives now than previous generations. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Congress could fix this problem tomorrow if they wanted to. Here are the main options they're considering. They could raise the payroll tax cap. Right now, you only pay Social Security taxes on the first $160,200 of your income. They could raise that or eliminate it entirely. They could gradually raise the retirement age. It's already set to go to 67 for people born after 1960. They could push it to 68 or 70. They could reduce benefits for higher income retirees. Maybe people who have other significant retirement income get smaller Social Security checks. They could raise payroll taxes for everyone. Right now, you and your employer each pay 6.2% of your wages to Social Security. They could bump that up. Here's the thing about all these solutions. They're all politically difficult. Nobody wants to tell people they'll pay more taxes or get fewer benefits or work longer. But history shows us that when push comes to shove, Congress usually acts. They've done it before. In 1983, when Social Security faced a similar crisis, Congress made changes that fixed the problem for decades. The key is that they usually wait until the last minute, so we might not see major changes until 2033 or even 2034. So what should you do right now? Here's my recommendation. First, create a Social Security account at SSA.gov if you don't have one already. Check your earnings record to make sure it's accurate. Look at your projected benefits. Second, calculate what a 21% cut would mean for you personally. Use real numbers. How much would you get? How much would the cut be? How would that affect your monthly budget? Third, start building other income sources for retirement. That might be a traditional IRA, a Roth IRA, a 401k, real estate, or even a small business. Fourth, stay informed. Things are changing fast, and you need to know what's happening. Fifth, vote. I'm not telling you how to vote, but vote for candidates who will address this issue. Social Security affects everyone, and your voice matters. All right, friends, that's the situation with Social Security right now. I know it's a lot to digest, and some of it might feel overwhelming. But remember, knowledge is power. You now know more about this issue than 90% of Americans. The most important thing to remember is this: you have options. Whether you're 25 or 75, there are things you can do to protect your financial future. The worst thing you can do is stick your head in the sand and hope someone else fixes it. I'm going to keep following this story and breaking down any new developments for you. If you want to stay updated on Social Security news, retirement planning, and other financial topics that matter to real people, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Also, if this video helped you understand the situation better, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps other people find this information, and honestly, everyone needs to know about this. Do you have questions about Social Security, retirement planning, or how these changes might affect you personally? Drop them in the comments below. I try to answer as many as I can, and your questions often inspire future videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care of yourself and your money.